And so basically she decides that she's going to go to Bali with us, even though we didn't invite her. Her husband was like, "Hey, you should really go be with your family." And I'm at her place, and I notice that every time that I stay with her, I am getting sick. I am getting drained. I felt like some entities, and could feel like all the life inside me is starting to dwindle. Like I can't get up. When I sleep over at her place, like, I can't get up, and I feel so tired, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, what is happening?" I never once thought it was her because I still was not willing to accept the fact that, you know, she was up to no good. I was really hoping that she was this person that she was face forward presenting to be, and that she was healing and that things were on the up and up. So I kept wondering, like, what's going on? I'm feeling like somebody is literally courting into me and siphoning all my life force. And that was the case because that's exactly what she was doing. And so soon as I left, I started to feel better on the plane. I was like, oh, I could feel myself again. I felt good. And her husband was very insistent that she come and join us. And I was living my best life, so happy. I was healing, going through my own creativity and thinking about writing a poetry book. And her husband is like, I'm getting her a ticket and she's coming to be with you. So I'm like, okay, now I have to get a villa because, we need a bigger place to stay. So I'm footing the bill on all of this. And I have to get a villa. I get a villa. And soon as she came, the moment she came, I saw her up the stairs and I saw the look on her face like, hmm. And it's like the mask had come off. And here she comes like down the stairs, like arrogantly. And I'm like, I don't know why I felt this horror in my heart. Like, oh. And apparently everybody else felt that as well there because we had become really close with the people, the workers there. Like everybody was getting along great. There was happiness, respect. And soon as she comes, I'm like, "Are you hungry? Can I get something?" She starts to be demanding. Nothing is good enough for her. She's starting to blame all the people that work there that they're not good enough. And she starts to say some pretty crazy stuff, like the pool guy was in love with her and was just staring at her and wanted her. And I'm like, girl, what are you talking about? He's just doing his job. Like, I've been here every day and he comes and cleans the pool and leaves. Making really big deals out of everything and projecting so much hate onto people and that everyone's evil around her that basically, you know, it started creating a wave of negativity. The staff started being really angry. They were not happy. They were frowning. It created so much chaos that even the management had to step in and have a conversation with us. And so I was like horrified that she was doing this, that we were getting along so well with everybody, created a nice community, and now it was ruined. I was embarrassed. And so I had to get us another villa. She had also come there wanting to do her music video. And again, I had been a huge advocate of her and her work, and I really believed in her because I'm not kidding you guys. Like her talent is off the hook. She is so talented. She can sing in any kind of way. Like she could beat any singer from Sade to Cardi B to Nicki Minaj. Like she can do it all and produce her own stuff. But you know what I've realized? It doesn't matter how talented you are. If you are a chaos agent and um, if you don't really love yourself enough to birth something into the world that's beautiful, you're going to sabotage everybody, including yourself. And so up to this point, I everything that I had invested in her, including her music videos, she had destroyed. And I never saw a return on my investment. And we had talked about it a long time ago. Like our part of our plan was that I was going to get into film and she was going to get into music and we were going to rise together. And it was a beautiful plan, and, the work ethic was there, the talent was there, everything was there except the integrity. The integrity was never there, at least on her end, and so I was like, "Okay, listen, I'm gonna help you one last time. This is it." I still believed in her, and I mean, her talents are unquestionable, like, she really has the skill. So, she made a beautiful song, and I was going to produce it for direct her video and produce it, and part of the producing was I was going to get another big villa, um, and part of that was I was going to be bringing in, an actor that I have known for so many years from, when I lived in Malibu, and that actor, was Raymond Bhagat Singh. And that actor is also somebody that I love dearly. I've had a relationship with him that was really special. We used to call each other brother and sister because I never saw him romantically. I always saw him as a divine being and a being that I loved and respected. And, as I was saying earlier, like, she knew that I was in a place in my life where I felt that I really was wanting a child, And one of the reasons why my past breakup was because my long-term partner that I had was not willing to, you know, co-create a beautiful family with me. And, so, I'd been in touch with him, and he had moved back to the Philippines, and he was doing his acting, and I guess it was taking off over there, and, it was really a struggle in the USA. So, I was very proud of him, and I wanted to see him, so I invited him to come out to the villa, and I wanted to spend time with him and get to know him again, and I had thought about, what kind of a partner I wanted, and that I was thinking I wanted somebody that I could co-create with in my life, somebody that I could build something with, and a family and creativity and projects. Like, to me, that's the ultimate package. And I saw him as that. Like, he's so special. He meditated. He he was very grounded and spiritual when I had known him all these years. Of course, I hadn't seen him for a very long time. So I we moved to another place. I get this big, beautiful villa, and I called him, because he's in the Philippines, which is very close to Bali. He was actually in where was he? London doing a tour for his film, and he was having great success with it, and I was so happy for him. So it was like a beautiful reunion. So he comes, and he comes to the new place, and everything is going well. The first day, it starts to go really well. But then my cousin gave me something to eat. She's like, "Here, have a snack. You need to eat. Make sure your blood sugar, doesn't go low." And so I was like, "Oh, thank you." And I ate it. And then a little while later, I didn't feel so good. I felt I felt like I was dying, you guys. I felt so sick. Like, it was beyond sick. I started to, like, hallucinate or something, and I was not doing good, and here my guest was that flew all the way from London, actually, to come see me, and we had this project. I was gonna direct her stuff, and I'm fading out, so I have to pull away. I have to go to the room and lay down, and, in the meantime, you know, she had told me, I want you to be happy. I want you to have your family that you want, and I hope this goes well." But then I realized that whatever she gave to me to eat was poisoned, and I didn't want to think that. So I was like, "I think I have dengue fever. Something's not right." And what's so crazy is at this time while I'm starting to hallucinate and like not doing the best, she's like she's like pushing me to go to the ATM because she needs to borrow money from me. And I'm like, "Girl, I can barely stand. Like, I can't possibly go anywhere." And she like insists that we go. And I don't know why I listened to her, but I did, and withdrew money and gave it to her, and I mean, it's just silly at this point. Then when I get back, I'm in worse and worse condition to the point where I'm hallucinating to the point that I think maybe I'm not sure if I'm alive because I'm starting to see my beloved dog that passed away, and I'm starting to see the other side. And this goes on for 4 days or 5 days or something like that. It's just going on and on and on, and my mom is like, "We gotta take you to the hospital," but there's no hospitals here because it's a little bit outside of Bali. So, there was a doctor, and so she takes me to the doctor, and I get tested for dengue fever, and I don't have it. I'm like, I'm sure I have dengue fever, like, I know I do." But, it turns out I had some kind of a poisoning, but we didn't know what, and he just says, "Go home and just take charcoal and rest," and that's all that he could do for me. So, I'm at a point where I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna live, I don't know if I'm gonna die, like, it's feeling kind of like I'm going to be passing over. And in the meantime, um my cousin is, like, flirting with the guy that I brought, and she's trying to do, things that were not proper, trying to seduce him and getting, he liked to drink, so she was trying to get him drunk, and, she got him really, really wasted, and then it was like, "Grind on me," and then made videos about that, which she showed to me right before she left. And what was so crazy is that when she left, she sat at the end of my bed, and I was just still, like, completely sweating, and I'm just still in this dying phase. She sits at my end of my bed, and she slowly turns to me, and then she's like, "Oh, so you're alive. I thought you'd be dead by now." But it was a little bit more wicked than that, and I'm in the bed going, like, I could tell she had really tried with all her might to take me out. And, you know, when my mom had gone into her room, she had saw, like, things she didn't wanna see in there. A lot of dark stuff was happening in the room next to me, and she was doing all her voodoo that she could do and working with her people, whoever she works with. But, um, as soon as she left, I felt like I could finally take a deep breath again. I was like, I had been so weak, I couldn't even walk to the restroom by myself. And 15 minutes after she leaves, I'm finally able to get up. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm weak, but I'm not dying anymore. Like, what is going on? And it was that moment, like, I did not want to think that she had poisoned me, but everything was pointing to the fact that she had. And so in the meantime, um, I after when I got a little bit better, since I didn't get to visit with my dear friend, I he invited me to come stay with him. So I said, "Okay, when is the next time I'll be able to come over there because I'm not traveling to Asia all the time." So I hop over and I'm staying there. And you know, it was kind of awkward because we've been friends for such a long time, and um we were laughing and having a good time, but there was some kind of chemistry between us, and he was single, I was single, so basically, you know, we had conversations and we're like, we're both at a place in our life where we realize, like, we want something real, we want something solid, we want a family. And things progressed, and he eventually asked me to marry him. And so I said yes. But I didn't know at that time that he was already married. And I thought that I was starting to live the dream that I had because we had conceived and I was pregnant, and that's a whole nother story. But I know that once word got to her that she was doing all she could to try to destroy this beautiful thing that I was having. And unfortunately, I did lose the baby, and I I knew that there was something going on, but I didn't really understand how much hatred this person had towards me, how she was directing every ounce of hate in her heart towards me, how she wanted everything that I had to fail, including my relationships. How much interference. And here's the thing is that I had given her the clothes off my back. I've given her my wardrobe twice. I used to write her, like sister love letters where I would tell her like, I love you, I believe in you, and I would handwrite them. And, um, she had all this stuff from me that was very personal. And little did I know that's the worst thing she could have had, because when someone's doing all this voodoo and black magic, they use all the things you have, your hair, your clothes, the things I gave her, like everything. So she was living in my energy. I mean, really siphoning from me and causing a lot of damage behind the scenes, and I didn't even know it. And the point is that you have to be so careful about who you invest in, about who you believe in. Just because somebody is a blood relative does not mean they are soul aligned to you, and that our family is not often the family that we're born into or share lineage DNA with. Often our soul family is really scattered from us. Like, we have to go and find those people. We have to be true to who we are so we can attract them, and they have to be true to who they are so they can attract us. Like, we can't give our loyalty blindly to people just because they are our family. And that, I can say that was like one of the biggest mistakes I ever made in my life. If I could go back in time, I would do it all different, but we can't go back and change anything. What I've learned is that, you have to be careful also who you share your dreams with. She took all my dreams and weaponized them against me. She took all my contacts and weaponized them against me. She she went into the person's inbox whom I was with and having a family, starting to have a family with, and started to contaminate the situation, started to spread those lies, started to plant seeds of doubt, started to create havoc, started to make secret phone calls. And she was harassing me for his phone number. And I got this really bad feeling. And I'm like, I mean, she already has all of his information because I introduced her to him a long time ago. I even made her a producer on a short film that I had done with him, which we got awards for. And I was always just giving. And what I learned is that you can't just give to people just because they're your family. You know, those kind of like vows need to go out the window. Like, people have to earn their place in your life. And I have learned that to a point in my life where I'm not letting people just come in my life and kind of dictate or give me guilt trips that they're my family or that they're my friends. Like, you have to earn your way into my life, because I'm not giving freebies away anymore. I've given so much. I've given from the trueness of my heart, and I've given with love and genuine belief in another, and trying to lift them up before I lift myself up. And I learned, no, you have to put yourself first, because you're the most important person in your life. And without you, you can't do the things that you were meant to do, that only you were meant to do, you know? So it's really important to have discernment and to stop this whole thing that you're my family, you're my blood, therefore you have access to all parts of me. I have learned that, when it comes to your relationships, like your friends and family don't just get access to the person that you're you're spending your life with, because people get jealous. They interfere. They try to take down the beautiful things that you have in your life because they can't stand seeing you happy. But it's not just can't stand seeing you happy. The other thing is that she would not have benefited if I had had a successful relationship and family with this person. She wasn't going to benefit off of me being an overgiver. She wasn't gonna benefit off of me directing my energies towards her, even though that's not true because I would always lift her up, and I didn't plan on ending the relationship, but I had to because of a few reasons, and one of them was when I was really sick from the poison that she gave me, and she was utilizing my camera that I brought, right? She was utilizing my place in Bali that I got her. She was utilizing my friend who was an ally and actor. And then she tells my mom, Rada doesn't deserve to be a producer because she's not even helping out. Girl, I provided everything that you have right here for this video. And that really hurt me because she was always trying to write me off, always trying to diminish me, always trying to act like the things that I did for her didn't matter, even though she had nothing to bring to the table. She had her gifts, her talents, but she didn't even have the ability to finish a project. I was always there helping her be the finisher. Like that is such an important thing is you need somebody in your life that can hold space for completion because not everybody has that gift. They may have a talent, but people don't have the talent of completing a project. And that is patience, diligence, and seeing it through and believing in it so much that you continue on. And I've always had that gift. So I would always be good at helping other people complete their projects. And I was always good at helping her complete her projects and her music videos and the things that she took. But then again, she did this beautiful video. It was so gorgeous, you guys. Well, she decided to never put it out because she's so self-destructive. She promised the actor that it was going to come out. And, all of her promises fell, but many times they fell on me. The lies fell on me, the responsibilities fell on me. And that's like not a good look because when you're working hard and you're trying to build, people need to be able to count on you and trust you. And yes, I could finish and complete things, but then she would take them and destroy them, literally destroy them. So here I am now at it's what is it? 2024, and I'm getting letters harassing me, telling me I need to take down so she stole all the intellectual property, she stole all the hard drives, she took all the music, she destroyed everything. Now she's telling me I need to take down the Facebook page and she's going to take me to court and sue me and blah 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 blah. It doesn't have one foot to stand on because she knows that that is a bold-faced lie after she's taken everything. She actually needs to pay me back for everything that I invested in her, which I know that she's never going to do. And it gets worse, you guys. Dun, 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 dun. But this is why I have to speak it out because she's still she decided she's going to call all my immediate family and harass them on the fact that I have a Hope Cafe page up, and it's not active. Nobody's doing anything. But she said that the guy that she's with, that she left her husband for, that's harassing everybody, including me, they're like, he's calling my mom and harassing her, threatening her. He called my brother and said he was going to come to his doorstep and basically kill him. You know, he has threatened my sister-in-law's business. She's a psychologist. Like he is destroying everybody that around me and harassing them. And they're going into people's inboxes that I know and spreading vicious lies. And here's the worst part is that she has gone, I don't know what her deal is or what she's really wanting at this end game, but people that have come into my life, a few of them, I found out that they were paid by her to come into my life, to get close to me, to divulge information about me so she can weaponize that against me. I mean, people that I thought were my friends and that I invested and spent time with and that I really cared about. And I'm really sad to say that they were not the people I thought they were. They were actually paid to come in and to act like my friend, and, unfortunately, they lost a really good friend because I know what I bring to the table, so it breaks my heart, but at the end of the day, I know it's not my loss, you know? At the end of the day, these people are gonna have to live with what they lost, and she's furious and angry because 'cause I'm not she can't court into me and suck the life out of me. She was manifesting off of me the whole time, manifesting everything. So now that she doesn't have this charge to plug into, she can't get the same results, you know? She's, um she's struggling in those ways, and so, I mean, she's, been sending terrible, terrible letters to my mother, threatening to take my mother and I out, telling me that she's basically she's like the head of this gang, that she has all these women that are gonna terminate us. It's like, at one point you have to laugh because it's so comical, but at the other end, it's, like, devastating, and it's sad, and it's very disturbing, and even if we block her, she finds another way to email us, and this has become like a psychosis, an obsession. Like, "Girl, get on with your life." You have one of the other reasons why I have cut her off is because when we were in good standing, she pretended that she had the CBD company and that she was creating, this amazing brand and that she had Rihanna on board and like, lies as usual, and was like, this person that I was dating, like, has to invest, and, basically got a huge investment out of this person and promised it back. It was like it was a done deal, and then basically, screwed over that person and, told me that they deserved it because that's what investors should expect, is to be screwed over, and that was really the final straw that I realized, "No, like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. Like, I'm really, really done with you." I mean, she's also taken out loans from my mom, taken loans out from me, taken loans out from pretty much anybody close to me that would listen to her, and she's never paid us back. She just continues to lie on our name. She went ahead and went to Florida, she went to go see all of our family members one by one and make up like the craziest lies and completely smear my name. I don't know everything she said. I just know that it was so bad that my one of my cousins called me and told me about it. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, you should be sorry that you've been stealing from everybody, hijacking us all, tricking us and acting in ways that are totally unacceptable. But, she doesn't have 1 ounce of I don't know, I don't even think she has a soul anymore, unfortunately, but there's no sorry from her. There's never gonna be an apology. There's never going to be the truth because, her lies are starting to fall apart. I it's gotten so bad that she's even stole money from her business partner, withdrew all the money and ran away, and, has been assaulting people. She now has a warrant out for her arrest. Like, it's becoming ridiculous, and the worst part is she's done some identity fraud, you know? She's taken my identity, and she's always wanted to take my identity, like, for real. Like, I feel like in many ways she wanted to rip me out of my body and just put herself in here, and I'm like, "It's ridiculous, like, you're a beautiful woman, go live your life, like, go heal, go take care of yourself, go figure out why you're doing this. Why are you hurting the people that love you the most? Why are you trying to destroy me? Why are you trying to destroy people that invested in you, believed in you, loved you, fought for you?" Even her own brother doesn't talk to her anymore, but, she like, her own family won't like, the people that know what she's done, because it wasn't to me, it's what she did to them, she ripped them off too. They don't talk to her anymore, but she's such a good liar, like, really talented. You know, some people have a great talent for bullshit and lies, and that is her number one talent above all. So she's always been very convincing. And she used to do this to me too, where she would always create problems, you know, like in the family. She would be like, oh, this person said that and that person said this, and get us to all fight, you know. And I've realized since I left her, since I have let that relationship go, I have grown, I have bloomed. I've been able to create books, to create, you know, projects. And even then, she's been trying to destroy my projects. She went and had all of her coven write terrible reviews for my books. I mean, she has really gone out of her way to try to kill my business, my small women run business. And it's like, what have I done to you except give you love, give you life support, you know, lift you up, believe in your dreams, try to make your dreams come true, invest in your projects. And all you've done is destroy everything that I've tried to create for you, create with you, for you, invest in you. So I would say that was probably the number one worst investment I've ever made in my life. And it's time for this to stop, these lies to stop. It's really time for it to stop, because you can't just go around defaming somebody and completely destroying them. You know, I now have people that have come out of the woodwork now that I don't talk to her, that have divulged to me all the terrible things she's done and said behind my back, all the schemes that she's done. And they're willing to testify on my behalf. They're willing to like share the truth, because a lot of people had told me, be careful of her, you know, you don't know who she really is. And you know, she would even like get intoxicated and like hit me or try to hit me. I would get out of the way, but she was like really, oh, she always had that hate in her heart. And I always made excuses for this person. You know, what I want to say is that you can't always make excuses for people anymore. Like in 2024, you know, nobody's perfect, but you cannot make excuses for perpetual bad behavior. You're going to have to let people really, really go who are showing you they really don't love you. They really don't care for you. They're willing to tarnish your name, your reputation, your business, your relationships, your dreams, so that they can rise higher, so they can use you as a footstool. And if you don't have stronger boundaries, you're going to be pushed all over the place. And so the one good thing that she taught me is that I'm not I am not a free for all. Like I'm not just giving my energy out anymore to everyone and trying to help everyone. I am trying to help the people that work with me, but you know, like I don't owe anybody anything. I've given so much in my life. I've given freely. I've given out of love and without ulterior motive. And that desire to give is still there, but I can see how I'd like to give to children. I'd like to give to animals. I want to give to the really innocent ones, the ones that really deserve, and not people who are so broken that they never want to heal, because in their resistance to healing, they become thieves, thieves of your joy, thieves of your life. And we really can't waste it anymore. All those years wasted, all those investments wasted. It's never really a waste because I learned so much from it. But, you know, the thing is, you have to be careful who you let handle your dreams, and be careful who you tell your stuff to, because people out there, you know, she never shared the truth of who I am. She distorted me to the point that, I mean, I wouldn't want to talk to me either if I listened to her. But I noticed a pattern that she was doing this to all the people that she had been friends with. She doesn't have any friends. And she, not only that, she's tried to destroy all of her friends, sending group letters and texts and divulging people's deepest secrets, things that shouldn't be shared, and also making stuff up about people. And she has her boyfriend, you know, going around calling people, harassing them. And she's done that to all of us in my family. My brother spent a lot of time helping her out with her screenwriting because of course, she's very smart. She can write really well, but she took that love, that time, that energy, that relationship, and threw it under the bus because of her desire to destroy and revenge for no reason, because she can't apologize. Because I put up boundaries and I'm no longer willing to deal with that kind of behavior ever again in my life. Like that's a no. Um, it goes on and on. But the point is, you guys, it's time for you to love you in 2024 and to stop giving all your goods away to people that don't deserve it. Stop lifting people up that try to push you down. And when people show you who they are, believe them. Like that is what my biggest problem was, is I was not willing to believe all the things that she was doing. I wasn't willing to believe that when people would tell me, be careful of her, she's not who you think she is, she's not always looking out for you. And the funniest part is that I get messages from voodoo priests, priestesses, dark magicians, whatever, that are literally telling me to be careful because she's been doing a lot of dark stuff behind the scene, trying to like take me out through black magic. And I've healed a lot of those deep wounds of shame and obligation, and so she can't penetrate me anymore. When I was still living in that, she was able to get to me. She would always use that I owe her or these guilt trips or something, when for no reason. For no reason at all, but that was the wound that I had as a child. So she took my wounds, not realizing that now I've really healed myself enough that it doesn't matter how much black magic you do, you're not going to get to me. And furthermore, you're just creating karma for yourself, you know, karma that is going to have to be paid back, not in just this lifetime, but many, 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 many infinite more lifetimes, because you're not living right. Because the truth is, when you get to a certain point, like my mother and I showed her about healing, we showed her about so many beautiful things about how to live right. Not that, and I have not always lived right. Okay. Don't get it twisted. I've made lots of mistakes on my journey, but I've also learned that after that near death experience where she tried to overdose me with the drugs, I really turned around and I gave myself to the divine, because I knew that I was getting another chance. I knew that I was about to leave this earth. And when you go through these kind of near death experiences, you start to realize you better get it together. You really need to get it together. Like, you're going to regret it when you die, because you will regret it. Because when you do your life review and you look at all the things that you've done, or that you weren't really taking the highest path, you will regret it. And I'm so glad that I woke up and came out of that, and I realized that I'm aligned with the divine, and that I took the path that was not the easiest. It was not a get rich quick scheme. It was not, you know, I didn't get like a lot of the things that I had wanted, but I got exactly what I needed. And I got the wisdom, I got the experiences. I'm here now to help others. I do that with my work as a healer, as a teacher, and, curating these books. Um, I can be of service to others when I am in high integrity with myself. Not trying to, again, I'm not like a goody two shoes. I'm not trying to make myself out better, but I mean, when I'm true to myself, when I'm true to me and true to the creator. And when I make decisions that are based off of that, when I go, anytime I've gone off the rails, I had to get my karma really back quickly, because, you know, we don't have time anymore to mess around. Like when I say karma, I mean like you date a certain person because, of certain reasons they're very attractive, but you're not really looking at the deeper aspects, like what is their heart like what is their soul like, better. And so the creator is always showing us, you and I, how to do better, how to be better. And that came with a lot of experience, a lot of negative experiences, a lot of twisted experiences, a lot of dark experiences. But that doesn't mean that we can't stand in the light, because that's where we're meant to be. And people are always going to want to take you off the rails. Like, you have ops and enemies that are in your family, that are in your close friend circle. And you have to stop listening to what people say and start feeling what is their intention. Because if I was really tuning in to her, I could feel her hate, her jealousy, her envy. You know, I'm 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 a mix in my ethnicity, you know, East meets West. And so she was always angry at me because I had lighter skin. And I'm like, I can't help it. Like, I've always been the brown girl. Like, I can't help what I am, neither can you. Like, we are what we are. We are what God made us. But she would always make me feel bad. Like, when I dyed my hair lighter before, because my grandma has blonde hair, and I was really, really close to my grandma. And since she's passed away, I think of her often, and I like to feel close to her. So that's why I wanted to go light again. And last time I went light, I spent like 2 years going that light. I spent so much money, and I did it because it was like an ode to my grandma. And so she would make me always feel bad, like, oh, you have like white privilege, and you have like, she would just guilt trip me that I shouldn't be what I am. I shouldn't be who I am. And so I was always trying to, I always felt bad because I knew that she had a tough life, but then again, who hasn't, right? We've all been through trials and tribulations. But she was doing a lot of guilt tripping, because she just she always felt like my life was easier, but she never asked me what my life was like. She never wanted to know anything about me. She was always talking about what happened in her life. And so it was never a two-way street. There was never that common ground of understanding that, wow, you went through this. Wow, I went through this. And here we are together. Let's make it better. It wasn't about healing the past. It was about destroying every now moment. And when I really realized that it was her mission, and still is her mission, to destroy me and my life and my projects. She hated the fact that I was helping other people with a book. She hated that I was empowering others, helping them find their voice. Like, she really hated everything that I was doing that was on the side of empowerment. And she always wanted to destroy that, discredit it, and always tell me, that I was stupid, I wasn't smart as her, that I shouldn't be doing this. Um, she'd always find ways to put me down. The very first book I did, um, I actually hired her as an editor first because she's really, really good with grammar and everything like that. And so she basically told me that it was crap, I shouldn't do it. And then I hired other editors and put it out. And she basically went out of her way to destroy that project. I took it down because I realized I wanted to redo it, but um, she was always trying to destroy any project I worked on. She went out of her way. She was doing so much black magic at the time that I put out Awakening Starseeds, the first one, volume one, that both my partner at the time, who was helping me, Mike Pastano, he got into a really bad car, like a huge car accident. Both of us got sick. Both of our dogs died at the same time. Like, there was a lot of darkness coming at us for putting this out. And I'm like, what is going on? I never thought for 1 second to think that she was behind it. But little did I know, she was the mastermind who was gathering people and always making herself out that she was the victim, you know, never acknowledged anything that anybody did for her, and was rallying people to do bad things to me, in every possible way. And it's pretty crazy. It's like, this is ultimate nightmare. Like, this is something that you would watch like in a movie, at this level of um conspiring really, it's unbelievable. Like who really has time to do all that evil stuff? But she was gaining something out of it because every time she would destroy my projects or my life, she would always go up. It was like the balance thing. Like she was targeting me to feed off of my misery, my sadness, my energy. Um, she was feeding off of that. So she was trying to create misfortune in my life so that she could rise from it, eat from it, and not just her, but a whole bunch of vultures that work with her and still do. And I'm sorry to say, but at the end of the day, the light's going to win, victory to the light. And the truth always gets revealed. All that has been in the dark will come to light. And that's where we are now. So as far as what happened to Hope Cafe, my cousin destroyed the hard drives, destroyed the music, and the distribution deal got destroyed as well. So that's what happened to it. I have never spoke on this publicly, but now it's time to share the truth. And unfortunately, there's more to it, but in the meantime, it's over. Game is over because I've never been playing a game of competition with her. I never thought of her as competition, but you got to look in your life and see, are there people trying to compete with you? Like from the original, you can't compete with the original. There's only one original. You can't compete with that. Like, why would you do that? Stay in your lane and get better at what you're doing. Find out what God or creator or source or the divine created you for. Stop trying to get in other people's business and ruin it. Stop trying to steal other people's work, their ideas. Nothing good can come from that. Stay in your lane. Focus on yourself. Heal the wounds that are make you so jealous and hateful. Like, do the inner work because karma is a biatch and it doesn't play. And in this year, karma is hitting everybody hard. So I just want to remind you, soul family, that your family is not always your blood family and that there are people out here that really do care. Don't lose hope because there are. I put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears making these collaborative books so that I can empower people's voices and help others out because having my voice suppressed so much throughout my life, it was such an important thing for me to help others. And our wounds can become our allies because where our deepest wound lives, so does our greatest gift. And if we're not willing to look at both, then we lose, and we will never really get success if we're trying to do it off the backs of others. We have to really cultivate that inner fortitude, that strength, and that willpower to complete projects from within ourselves. We can't expect others to do that for us. We have to be the ones to do it. So I hope that answers your question about what happened to Hope Cafe. And I'm sending you all so much love and blessings. And if anybody, has been hurting you in this way, I just want to say you don't deserve it. You should never put up with that. And that it's so hard to let people go when you're attached to them. And I still love her to this day, but I will never let her back into my life because I know how wicked she is. If she could light a match and put me on fire, she would. And that's not going to happen. So she's going to have to face her own demons, face her own shadow, look in the mirror instead of projecting all of that volatility towards me. It's so unwarranted. And if people in your life are projecting on you and it's unwarranted, you have to cut them out of your life because they're just going to use you to project what they don't want to work on within themselves. They're going to make you the bad guy. They're going to tell tales about you that don't really exist in real life. They're going to smear you, destroy you. And I don't think any of us have time for narcissists in 2024 and beyond. So let's just end that habit and let's move forward and align ourselves to people who are really, heart-centered, who are doing great things in the world, who stand for something, and who are part of the bigger picture of moving forward humanity at large. It's not just about ourselves. We, you know, there's a bigger picture here and we're all trying to do that. So first we have to break the chains in our immediate life and then we can move forward and do greater things. And I know if you're watching this that you're meant for greatness. So I'm truly sending you all my love, blessings, and prayers that, you know, you will realize the beauty of who you are, that you will realize what you're here to do so that you don't feel lost or following somebody else, that you can listen to the guidance of the divine, and that we will all rise together. Together we rise. Much love and blessings. Bye for now.